Hello everyone, welcome back to the another podcast of Space and Stories. Today we're diving into a topic that affects all of us because the spaces we live in, work, and shape our mood, productivity, and even our relationships. Joining me today is Mrs. Shikha Suri. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining with us today.
My pleasure, Puransh. How are you doing?
I am doing great. She's the one who spent years transforming empty spaces into meaningful experiences. Beyond creating beautiful interiors, they've built a successful design practice and developed unique perspective on creativity, business, and the psychology of homes. Uh, so,
Perfect.
ma- yeah. So to begin with, before we actually get into design and
Yeah.
business,
Yeah.
I always like to start with the person behind the profession. So tell us a little bit about your journey. How did interior designer find you, and how did you find interior design?
So, was a science student in 11th and 12th, was doing very well in studies, wanted to do architecture, wanted to do something in space of interiors, always, always fascinated with homes, always fascinated with interiors by and large. So, applied for it. It was a diploma course when I joined, when I started. It was in 1992 that I finished my 12th, and then did a 3-year diploma in a government polytechnic. And I have a diploma, which is, we did not have degrees at that point of time.
Yes.
So that's how interior design found me, and I found interior designing.
That's fascinating. So let's jump into some topics that I think every homeowner, designer, and entrepreneur will relate to. So let's start with the future. You know that AI is involving in many things today. It is changing almost every industry. So do you think that interior design will be transformed or disrupted over the next coming decade?
I hope so. I pray so that, better and bigger things come for interior design, and it becomes easier for the future generations. We did it with T and set squares, did it on a huge table, carried such huge equipment to colleges, and then AutoCAD came, and then, there were things computers made so much easier. And, a plan can be transformed into a 3D just in a matter of minutes, and used to take us weeks at end to draw it out, to color it out, and not to be able to correct it. If we wanted to correct it, it meant again sitting on at hours at end to do it again. So, future AI and computers is the way to go, and it makes it way easier. I think so. Pavni is getting a call, so this. Okay, now I start again. You edit it better.
It's a yeah.
Future AI and computers is the way to go forward. There were many things that it took us weeks and weeks to do a 3D perspective, and it was very difficult to correct it. But computers have made it a matter of minutes that you can have a plan into a 3D, into an elevation very fast, and this is the way forward. We have to learn, we have to improve our tools, and you can't. That's the only way forward.
Exactly. Every designer today has access to Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube. Yet only a few become recognizable brands. What actually separates them?
The separation is innovation.
Okay.
You have to think outside the box. You have to not use the usual colors. Design something new. Make some new. If you make one table with 4 legs, everybody can do it.
Yes. Yes.
And you have to keep on innovating, keep on learning, get inspired, and you work on your craft every single day.
That's quite motivating. If you had to pick three cities that every designer should experience, which would they be, and what can they learn from each?
So, Rome,
Rome, yeah.
the architecture of Rome,
Yes.
Paris,
Beautiful. Yeah.
and of course, Apna Delhi,
Yeah.
the
Delhi has
Mughal
to be.
architecture.
Yes.
Mughal architecture. Delhi and I say NCR, Agra, the Mughal
Yeah.
architecture.
Hmm.
So the three cities, the grandeur of it all.
Yes.
It is the Vatican in Rome. You have to visit it to experience it. You have to climb the Eiffel Tower and see it from above and marvel at the architecture.
Definitely.
So
yeah.
and the Taj,
Taj. Yeah.
the Taj Mahal.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's
Yes.
amazing. It's a sight to remember.
Yeah, exactly. I've been to Taj Mahal, but I've not been to Paris and Rome. But definitely, when I go there, I'll definitely
Yeah.
focus on the architecture, and I'll definitely go to the Vatican City and the Eiffel Tower.
You have a whole life ahead of you, bacha. And you're very,
Yeah.
very young.
Yeah.
And travel of course changes you. And
Yes.
you must travel. And architecture and travel go hand in hand. And
Yes.
you learn everywhere. It changes you as a person. So travel as much as you can, whenever you can.
I actually choose architecture because I love traveling. So I always, because they go hand in hand. So like it's good for me. I love traveling, and architecture is my passion. So good for me.
So another city, I'm sorry, in Spain, there is a Sagrada Familia, and a church that was being done for I think so 144 years.
Yes, it
Correct
just
me if I'm
completed
wrong.
now. Yeah.
It's just completed,
Then,
and you
yeah.
have to see it from inside. It changes you. It really, really changes you, and you marvel at the splendor of it all.
Okay. One topic that always sparks debate in India is Vastu. I'd love to hear your perspective on it.
Controversial.
Yeah, and you were writing a case study on
Controversial, but controversial, but as Indians, as people working in India, we have to follow it. People's beliefs are people's beliefs, and the fire and the wind and the circulation is somehow correct, but I don't believe every aspect of it. But it's a huge part of my everyday planning. Huge part. Because the kitchen has to be in certain way and the toilet cannot be in certain places, so on and so forth. The direction of the gate, the entry gate has to be in certain. I understand it can't be followed in most some cases, but we try to inculcate all of it in our everyday thing. But controversial.
Yes.
When you can't beat them, you join them.
Yeah, definitely. So I'll definitely be learning Vastu in future.
Yes, you have to. You have to know the basics to do everything right. Because most of the clients, 80 to 90% of the clients that we meet, follow us.
Okay. So what has been your most challenging client experience, and what did it teach you about communication and managing expectations?
So client experiences range from people being difficult to the extent they change their decisions very often.
Yes.
When things are executed and then you have to redo it because the client had a dream last night that the red doesn't look good and the green looks better. One. And it's a tough industry in the sense the payment part of it.
Even.
The service industries, all the service industries are tough industries. Because once you are, you have given your things and the payments don't come. That's the toughest part. But of course, every job is tough. Earning money is tough. Earning money with all your honesty is very, very tough. But one has to be at it.
Yes, yes. If you could redesign one thing about the way Indians think about homes and living spaces, what would it be and why?
So, modern, say, places like Delhi, Gurgaon, where I live, population is large, space to live is less, and even Bombay, it's true for all the metros of the country. The space is so less that we've started, making instead of 10 feet height of walls, we've reduced it to 9.5. The spaces.
Yes.
I wish we had more space to, the grandeur, to breathe easily, to live larger. But modern living is modern living, and certain things you can't help and certain things you can. But
Yes.
You have to make every space that you design less and less cramped and functional. Both aspects should be taken into consideration. So if I had my way, I would make things less cramped and more open.
I think it will be possible when the government will allow, like they'll increase the height for the buildings, and then we'll able to make skyscrapers and
May
taller buildings, which
Taller
will give
buildings.
us more area.
Yes. So if we can't do it horizontally, we can do it at least vertically.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
space can be created vertically. Yeah.
It's not possible abhi though, because government does not pass laws.
Yes.
So can visiting a design fair genuinely change the way a designer think, or is it mostly about networking?
Both.
Both. Okay.
Huh. You get new ideas also. So you learn every day. Learn every day, and you don't know it all. This is the best. This is the first thing you have to do is you don't know it all. And when you get older, the newer generation always amazes me, because
Yeah.
Gen Z kamal वैसे ही कर रहा है. And so yes, you see new things, you see new materials also, paints, polishes, transformation. It is not the same as it used to be 30 years ago. It is not. Many new materials. Like,
Okay.
in finishes and everything, we've learnt it all on the job or from the fairs.
Yes. Yeah.
And of course, we've always found new clients when we've been part of an exhibition, when we've been part of a fair. On the other side, when we are selling our interior, selling our furniture, we've always found new clients.
Okay. For young designers or creative entrepreneurs like me, how should they think about pricing their work without feeling guilty or undercharging? This is my personal favorite question.
So India is a very competitive market, very price sensitive market.
It is.
You can't outprice yourself. When you're establishing as a brand, even if your brand only serves the elite, it has to be competent. It
Okay.
has to be competent. You can't outprice yourself. You're setting up yourself for failure if you outprice yourself. Simple as that.
Okay. So thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your journey, your experiences, and your insights with us. It was truly a pleasure having you on the podcast. I'm sure our audience is walking away with fresh perspectives and plenty of experiences. Until next time, keep exploring the spaces around you and the stories that shape them. This is Space and Stories, and I'm your host, Guransh, signing off.
Bye, Guransh. Thank you. It was a pleasure
Thank
talking.
you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Bye.
God bless you. It was a pleasure.